Go ahead and get it started, y'all. Here we go. Got about a minute. Get live everywhere. Go live. Okay. Let's go live. What is that? Are we live? I think we're live. Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, let's get ready to do it. Few seconds, I'm gonna get it started. My boy be here today. He was out last week. Y'all ready? In 30 seconds, I'm gonna get it started here. So wait a minute. Let me see what I got. I got something. What I do with that flyer? This. Yeah, that's Good Storm by yours truly. Swinging tune, ain't it?
Those of us that indulge in or commit intellectual violence don't do so for the pleasure of mental masturbation or ego diddling. We do so because the chains of oppression on our people's minds are deep and difficult to remove.
Good morning, my children of the sun. Welcome to the Open Eye on WHGE 95.3 FM, the education advocacy station. The Open Eye, hosted by yours truly, Patrice Gibbs, your third eye optometrist. Joined shortly by my man Nsoromma, my partner in consciousness. Yeah, that's right. I hope you enjoyed last week's show. I got some big kudos on that. Yes, indeed. And, well, let's get, I know you couldn't wait to get here. But let me tell you something. You don't just have to tune in at 11 a.m. for the Open Eye. I know you do. But stay tuned for Back to Greatness, following the Open Eye, with your host, Thomas. That will be followed by Make Some Intelligent Noise with Rachel Wilson. And on the second and fourth Saturdays, this is the second Saturday, isn't it? I'm pretty sure, will be Dr. Kalichi Lawrence and his co-host Kevin Coleman on Voices of Delaware African Coalition. At 5 today, the Weekend Review. That's every Saturday with my man, Dr. Alan Lawrence, Doctor of Information. That's right. I don't know if he got a PhD or not, but I awarded him one. All right. And, of course, that will be followed by our illustrious leader, Harmon Carey, with history, facts, and reflections. All right. What's going on today? We got some things over at Faith Harvest Worship Center, New Life Ministries, and Blessed Assurance Church. They're having a BYOB event. BYOB means bring your own bag, because they're giving away free coats, dresses, suits, shoes, children clothing, meats, breads, pasta, canned goods, box cereal. That's at Faith Harvest Worship Center and New Life Ministries and Blessed Assurance Church. That's on 2205 Lancaster Avenue, right here in Wilmington, Delaware. All right. Let's get it started. Let's see what we got for. Oh, I got a whole lot for you. You know that. Yes, indeed. You know I got some stuff for you. First, we're gonna start off with a little history. Let's start there. I got something right here for you. Let's see. All right. Did you know that some of the largest civilizations in human history were African empires? Now, here's a small list of all the pre-colonial empires that span from 3000 BC to 1600 AD. That's 4,500 years of ancient civilizations. Kerma civilization. That's in the Sudan and Egypt. Of course, the Egyptian Empire, which is in Egypt. The Kingdom of Kush, which was in northern Africa. The Kingdom of Axum in Ethiopia. The Kingdom of Ifi in Nigeria. The Ghana Empire on the Horn of Africa. The Mali Empire in West Africa. The Kingdom of Songhai in West Africa. Please note, the oldest human bones were discovered in Africa near Ethiopia. These bones of the famous lady named Lucy dates back 3.2 million years. Who knows how many civilizations there were in 3.2 million years until 1600 AD? Do your research. Find out who you are. WHGE 95.3 FM. If you got the nerve, give us a call at 844-944-3953. That's 844-WHGE 953. Don't be afraid. We ain't gonna hurt you. Because for some people, learning things hurts. Good morning, my children of the sun. In the station, my brother.
Yeah.
Consciousness. Nsoromma. How you doing, brother?
Coolin'. What's up, everybody? I missed you, I missed y'all last week, man.
Yeah, buddy. That's where I was solo last week.
You still in the dirt, though.
Yeah, that's where.
I listened till I rolled out. I couldn't hear you no more. You know what I'm saying? Out of our area. Yo, what's good?
Oh, this, that, and the other.
True.
This, that, and the other. Harmon told me last week after the show, he said, yo, watch out, brother. They gonna lock your ass up.
Outside right now.
Is that he outside right now?
Yeah,
and guess what? I bet he got the radio on.
I hope so.
WHGE 95.3 FM. Tell your friends.
What's up, Mr. Officer?
All right. That's word. So, you know what state I like?
What?
I've been there. It was back in the day.
Where?
Colorado.
Colorado?
Yeah, Colorado was the first state to legalize marijuana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they legalized it not only for medicinal purposes, but for recreational use.
I mean, they got alcohol. I mean, and they put methadone and all these other drugs in play. So, that's the only drug that really don't make you go kill somebody.
How about that?
You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
What?
You want to get off that?
What?
Smoke some marijuana. You leave everything alone.
Right. Everything will be chilled out.
Yep. That's word. But Colorado. And what they did with the tax money from the marijuana.
Right.
They built up their schools. They supported their senior citizens.
See, that's what they need to do. Marijuana right now, since they started, the government started working with it, it's made like billions of dollars in the industry right now. And they ain't even said nothing about that money. They tucked that money. They ain't say nothing about all the things and all the programs that they can put in place for that money. You know what I'm saying?
That's word.
it's crazy, man.
Yeah, it is.
We gotta pay attention as a people because we control that. But if you got 6 people that's controlling the world, you know what I'm saying? Through the media and all the propaganda that they saying, I mean, it's serious, man.
That's word. And see, like you said, you know, they making millions on the
Something they was locking us up. They was locking us up for that.
That's right. And some of us still in jail for that.
Right, doing 45 years for an ounce of marijuana.
That's crazy.
And that's not a lot. That's only 28 grams.
Yep.
And they give that to you for free now through their program. You know, it's crazy, man.
Now, not only did Colorado legalize marijuana,
Right.
they ended qualified immunity for police officers. See, that's that crap where if a police officer does something, they're not really held accountable for it. It's qualified immunity.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that's wrong.
Oh,
Everybody should be accountable for whatever they do. Period.
For instance, if you sue a cop for some wrongdoing, it doesn't come out of his pocket.
It come out of our pocket.
It comes out of our pocket. It comes out of the taxpayer pocket.
Mistake.
That's right.
Yeah, nah, that's not right.
No, it's not. You know? See, they also throw out the cops' testimony if they turn off their body cams at any point and will assume malfeasance.
First of all, if they turn off their body cam, it's deliberately and it's on purpose, and they should be charged automatically.
That's what.
Period.
You know,
they shouldn't be cutting it off at all.
And what Colorado did was they said body cam footage must be unedited and released in its entirety within 3 weeks of an incident.
Wow, that's too long.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, look how they do with the body cams now. Like, for instance,
they gotta take and put it in the machine and let them dump it down to the machine. Like when they clock in, like that.
Yeah. But what they do is, you know, you put in, you know, under freedom of information, right? Body cam footage. Oh, it takes months for you to get it. So I have to commend Colorado for at least cutting it down for 3 weeks.
Okay.
3 weeks. Because there's a rule, you know, it'll be a year or two later. And sometimes,
forgot about it.
Yeah, you know, and sometimes the footage is so egregious, so incriminating, okay?
Right.
Even after they edit, they can't even edit it down enough.
It's not being incriminating.
For it to not be incriminating.
Right.
You know? That's where, you know what? Don't be fooled. If the oppressors were truly superior, they wouldn't have to distort so many facts, conceal so many truths, and spread so many lies, and work hard to handicap those that they claim are inferior. We're nothing of the sort. Never had it. I saw some footage from Dr. King, right? Where Dr. King said, "Don't ever let nobody take your manhood. Stand up. Stand up." You know?
They already manipulating our kids into that.
Oh yeah, that they are.
Yeah.
That they are. He said, no, how we put that? No Lincolnian, you know, Dr. King's vocabulary was off the hook, right? And what he meant was no emancipation by Lincoln could free us. No Civil Rights Act by Johnson could free us. Okay? If we are to be free, we must sign an Emancipation Proclamation with our own manhood, womanhood, and soul. Okay? That ain't no we shall overcome talk like, you know, they try to paint Dr. King to be. You know, that's that crap they want to bring. You know? It ain't working. That's word. You know? You know, I get some people that, how can I say,
What?
I just kind of leave them alone.
Some people are supposed to be left alone.
Some
you know
people will be left alone.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, they only for that minute or that second or that hour or that year. You know what I mean? However you may go, if it's meant to be left, it's meant to be left.
It's meant to be left. So I've decided with a peaceful spirit and a loving heart and a clear mind that some people can still kiss my ass. Boop, boop.
Hey, yo, nah, but, yo, on the real tip, you have to be able to leave things that you love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some people can't do that.
No.
And some people don't have the strength and the, the willpower to leave that bad thing that's formed. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a relationship and it's a bad relationship and it's not moving forward, and every time you go in the house you think about, I gotta go in this house, I'm bad. You living in like pain for real.
That's right.
So you have to be able to leave that love or that pain and be a better, rounded individual. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
It's serious, man.
That's why, and that makes me think of, I had a buddy that, when he would get off from work, he'd get home and sit in his car for a half hour before he went in the house.
Right. Cussing everybody out, getting all his oohs, ahs,
Bigger than that.
I gotta go in here, I gotta go in here. Nah, that's not the way to live.
No, it's not. Not at all.
If it's something that you want and doing, life's too short not to apply yourself to try to do it anyway. You know what I'm saying?
That's where
it's not promised to us.
No, it's not. And that's why I said, when, I have to cut people loose, I'll tell you quick. Look, I would rather adjust to your absence than adjust the boundaries of my respect. Understand that. That's where it is.
And then people talk about you, you know what I'm saying, when you do that.
Yeah.
But don't really say, oh, he talking about me because what? Because I didn't really do what I was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? They don't get the whole story. Right. So
they tell their little side of the story, but they don't tell their dirt.
Right. So they talk about you because they can't talk to you.
How about that? Ain't that something? How about that, Nsoromma?
Oh, Lord.
WHGE 95.3 FM, The Open Eye, is brought to you by the Delaware Center for Homeless Vets, founders and builders of the Pearl Center, the veteran-specific apartment building. Delaware Center for Homeless Vets, changing veterans' lives all over Delaware. True.
Damn, just gonna press the button.
I don't know. That's what I should do. My allergies giving me grief today. I woke up this morning, I could barely see.
Wow. Well, go on, Cherry, Linwood. Hey, yo, Nye, what's good? Wake up. I see you. Me say, I gotta send you a picture too, cause he almost finished the car. Boom. Yo, what's good?
WHGE 95.3. I'm Patrice Gibbs.
I'm Nsoromma.
Right here for you. Man. Well, you weren't here last week.
I know, man. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. So you didn't get to talk about, or we didn't get to talk about how you felt about Bill Cosby being released.
I'm glad he out, man. I'm glad they let Bill Cosby go, man. First of all, he was, no matter what a person do in their personal life, because the media blow up, like we in the media, so we know how easy it is for somebody to get the information and don't know the full information. If you wasn't there, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? So you can only take what you think happened, because don't nobody really know what happened but the people that was there, right?
Right.
Now, but he was the so-called black, or the black community father figure.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. Now, you take the black community father figure and run him through the dirt. I don't see him running the Pope through the dirt. I don't see him running through these priests through the dirt that is done worse to kids.
Right.
You understand? So it's the way the media points the finger at the black man and things that they've been doing forever and have been caught doing. And you know what I'm saying? Whereas though this was a 35, 40-year thing that happened years ago.
Right.
And you know, he just going to jail at 80 years old. Come on. You got to look at the real systematics of, you know, America, man.
Right.
For real.
You know, well, I tell you something else too, man. I heard a couple of people say this, and I mentioned this last week.
Right.
And I called it the wrong speech. I called it the pudding speech. It was it was the pound cake speech. It was a speech that Dr. Cosby made, where he was criticizing black people.
Right.
All right, and there was some truth in some things he said, but the thing was he didn't put it in context, and the stuff that he put out there,
right,
gave our oppressor the fuel to say, see, even Dr. Cosby says so. You know, and a lot of black people, and rightfully so, were mad at him for that. You know, now what some black people are saying now is, well, because of the pound cake speech, I can't support him. Okay, let's look at why Bill Cosby went to jail. All right, hey, could you decline on that? I'm on the air, sister. Sorry. Let's look at why Bill Cosby went to jail.
Right.
Okay, I'm not on the conspiracy theory stuff. All right, but the fact of the matter is that Bill Cosby was trying to gain control and purchase NBC. Now the powers that be said, oh, we can't have that. So we got to come up with something to take this rich black man down. I was thinking of another word that they probably used to describe Dr. Cosby.
I mean,
okay.
Right.
And you know, well, I'm going to tell you this, right? So it was, in my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of people, okay, you're entitled to your own opinions, but not your own facts.
Right. Everybody got an opinion, just like they have, you know,
a backside.
Yeah,
put it lightly.
I mean, unless you born handicapped and don't have a waist exposure,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Your opinion is like everybody else's.
That's
you know
right.
What I'm saying?
You know, okay.
Opinions get you locked up.
Yeah,
For
they
instance,
can.
like Bill Cosby. You know what I'm saying?
You know, now, like I said, I think that, you know, Bill Cosby was a dirty dog, and, you know, he did some slimy stuff and all this. But I'm going to tell you what, I hate white supremacy a hell of a lot more than I hate what Bill Cosby did. And that's for damn sure. I hate that a hell of a lot more.
I mean, this is a scenario situation. It's the 70s. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a spoon around their neck. And everybody doing disco with the high shoes on and the club and doing white line, powder lines and all of that, making songs about drugs and pills and all of that stuff. And this is our society that's pumping right now. So you famous. And you got all these other people around you. You ain't even got to be involved with them or nothing. They doing what they doing because they hustle how they hustle.
Right.
And whatever they're hustling, they're hustling. So if you're in a room with me and we're partying, I got nothing to do with you taking that.
That's right.
Exactly.
And see, the thing is, you got to remember, Quaaludes was the party drug at the time.
Exactly. So that's what I was saying.
Right.
It's the process of when America put these drugs in position. Did you know LSD was basically done by the government?
Oh, yeah.
Put in effect to test people to see how. Then they started having LSD parties and stuff like that and turning people on to LSD and they don't even know they drinking it in their Kool-Aid and they doing tests on them. This is what they do. This is how they keep control of the masses. If I'm giving you something you don't know that's messing you up, you don't even know you messed up.
How about that?
You understand?
How about
that's
that?
some serious.
That is, man.
America, we as people have to open our eyes more. I got a song called "Wake Up," matter of fact. Nsoromma. iTunes, check it out. Our people need to wake up, man. Not only our people, I mean world people. The world needs to wake up because it's not only happening to blacks. We're the main target, but it's going to happen to everybody. It leaks over. It don't just stay in the black. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
It fills up. Once it gets full, it start leaking over and running over into other things and other places.
That is actual fact. Now, I want to move on to something, right? The sister that got banned from the Olympics, Sha'Carri.
I'm hot about that.
Richardson.
The boy that smoked all the marijuana, what was his name? He was the swimmer. He used to smoke
Michael
4
Phelps.
ounces a day.
He was on, I said it last week. He was on, they got a photo of him, video of him.
Hitting the bong?
Hitting the bong.
I'm talking about a Brooklyn bong hit.
You know. But Sha'Carri Richardson, She's been banned from the Olympics for smoking some marijuana to ease the pain of losing her mother.
Wow.
Now this is to.
That's how inconsiderate America is. But if it was to blacks, if it was a white person in that situation, she could have did all kind of stuff and been for days. You know what I'm saying?
Like the girl from wherever she was in Europe. They tested her and she had steroids. She said, "Oh, no, that came from a burrito." They said, "Oh, okay."
I mean, but see, that's just how easy they can brush it off.
Yeah.
And then make a big story out of it over on this side to take your attention off of the real cause of what's going on around you. You know what I'm saying? It's like what you call that? A manipulated move to not make you think about this, but think about this. You know
distraction.
A distraction. Yeah. It's crazy.
You know. So now this is for all of you Olympians that are running in events that Sha'Carri Richardson would have been in.
And you got sucked up.
Yeah. This is for y'all. Listen and understand this clear. A gold medal is worthless when you know someone that's faster than you and they didn't get to compete. Your gold medal don't mean a damn thing if you didn't run against Sha'Carri Richardson.
If you didn't run against the best.
If you didn't run against the best.
And that's how they do. They eliminate our Incredibles and put them to the side. Oh, you drunk orange juice. Now orange juice has some LSD in it. And they put it in there. I mean, that's how I go.
That's how it goes.
You know what I'm saying? And then they test you and go, oh, you had LSD in your system. But I've never seen nobody with it, but no, it's crazy. It's any means necessary. Michael wasn't playing when it wasn't only for us. It wasn't only for us that by any means necessary. It was them too. They're doing it by any means necessary also.
That's right.
So you have to understand that. That's what they doing. They coming at us by any means necessary.
By any means necessary. You know, understand what we are dealing with. How many times have I had to tell y'all this? It's not about freedom and liberty anymore.
Right.
It's about survival. WHGE 95.3 FM.
844 WHGE 953. Call in now. Yeah. Yo, what's good? You know what it is. We stay dropping signs on y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, if you got any questions, hit us up. We ain't playing. We looking at you right now. Go live. Say what you gotta say, and we'll answer you. It's just like that. We reading you too while you talking. Welcome back, Nsoromma. I hear you say it was good. You know what I'm saying? I miss you too. You dig me?
Brother Vaughn in the house.
Was good.
Yeah,
Hey yo,
Brother Vaughn in the house.
I see him all the time. What's good, man? Yeah,
buddy.
That's what we do. We learning too.
Yep.
And we do research to find out if it's fact or fiction. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, come on.
Get there. Ain't nothing to be scared of.
Don't be scared.
We ain't gonna hurt you.
Don't be scared.
That's what it is. Yeah, buddy. Well, I gotta get on these Karens too. I didn't bring the stuff I wanted to bring about it, but it's cool. Yeah, that's what it is.
You know any war veterans that need help or direction, hit us up. You know what I'm saying? It's Delaware Center of Homeless Vets, because that's what we do too. We try to keep our community tight knit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For real. You know? It ain't a game.
Delaware Center for Homeless Vets. Changing Section 5, all over Delaware.
Delaware Center for Homeless Vets has added a new component. We got grant and per diem. What that means is Delaware Center for Homeless Vets, which primarily concentrated on male veterans, has now expanded, and we can also take in female veterans.
Well, that's good. No more discrimination.
No more discrimination. That's what it is.
Females fought in the war too.
Yes,
you know
indeed.
What I mean?
They serve too.
So yeah, that's a good thing.
Yes, indeed. So, contact Delaware Center for Homeless Vets. If you're a female out there you're a veteran.
Vet, right.
Yep, and you're homeless, we got you. Just contact us. All right.
All right.
Yeah. You know, these white supremacists still run around doing things. Did you see, and I didn't get his name, where was he? He was in Ohio, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
This fool harassing his neighbors.
Oh yeah, I think I started to pull up. Like you said, I started to pull up myself.
I heard that.
But I was like, I gotta work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I couldn't be there, so I was like, yo, they needed to do that.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
need to do that to anybody that get caught on film like that.
Mm-hmm.
They supposed to pull up.
Right. He asked for it.
Right. He told them, yo, my address is so, and if you, pull up.
Yep.
And you know the little boy went viral for that saying.
Oh yeah.
That's why he said it, and that's why he got that response.
Well, he got a response too.
Exactly.
Didn't he?
They was
out there.
I think that's terrorism.
What you mean?
The whole act of what he was doing.
Oh, it's there.
That is terrorism.
That's what it is.
Right. I mean, but you can, if an Arab came over here and started going, yo, I tell you what, if you don't get out of my community, I'm gonna blow your house up and all this. It'd be a wild, out of proportion situation.
Yep.
So why wasn't it that for them?
For that, I'm gonna tell you
the
why.
cop pulled up and did nothing.
Well, check this out.
Okay.
All right. Check this out. He admitted
Right.
on video
Right.
that he was a drug dealer. And that the black neighbors that he was harassing, who had called the cops several times, all right, he told them, the cops are with me. They ain't gonna do nothing about what I say and do. And when one cop showed up, he was talking to him slick.
Yeah, he's like, yo, go to your house and I'll come over there and I'll come back and I'll come talk to you. So go to your house so I can get their situation. Just go to the crib.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, I'm gonna stay right here. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what I did.
This is what, and the cop went on.
Right, and the cop, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
It's called
justice,
white privilege.
No, justice should be justice. And that's why when it comes to, if justice has to be taken into the crowd's hand and you getting stoned in the street for something that you did wrong, I'm totally with that. I'm what you call people justice. You understand? Some people can't get justice for the simple fact that the justice is not equal. So,
well, you know what? The crazy thing is, the cops would not have locked him up if that response hadn't been so strong. And then they said, okay, well, we got to do something. All right.
If he didn't open his door and 2,000 black people was outside and white people,
I
mean, it was all nationalities out there, but it was a mainly black thing because he called us out. He called out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come see me. Yeah. That's a black saying, and they always take black sayings and put them in the TV commercials and stuff like that. Because we never copyright or trademark all our sayings that we supposed to be paid for that they use in their commercials. That's
we have an effect on everything.
That's another whole avenue that they steal from us that they don't give us any money for or benefits from. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, he was supposed to get jumped on, just like he did. And the cops that was with him, I mean,
and you know what? In my opinion, his relationship with that police force needs to be investigated. Because if he said he was a drug dealer and he had the nerve to admit so on video, okay, then obviously he's been paying out some bribe money.
And he said the cops is on my team. He got a big mouth and he doing the wrong thing. He definitely need to be checked out.
Yeah, you need to be checked out, and them cops too, because he's been paying out some bribe money and they took the money.
Right. Or the drugs.
I
mean, that's crazy.
And like I told y'all, look, understand something with this white supremacist thing. We are at war up in Massachusetts, in Boston suburb. All right, a white man who authorities say shot and killed a black Air Force veteran and a retired state trooper in Winthrop, Massachusetts last month carried hate fueled by white supremacy, according to Suffolk County District Attorney's Office. Nathan Allen, stole a large truck and crashed it into another vehicle and a building before shooting and killing veteran Ramona Cooper, 60, and David L. Green, 58. Okay?
Wow.
You know? And see, now this is going on. And how many times have I said, look, we got to understand how to operate when we're behind enemy lines. And I do that as a PSA. And when I say we're behind enemy lines,
right,
I mean when we hemmed up by these base soldiers, by the cops. And it makes me sick that we have to put out a public service announcement on how to survive interactions with the police in this day and age.
I can't believe it either. That's so humiliating and disgusting. And other countries look at us like, you really gotta, it's crazy, man.
That's what
crazy, man.
You know? And my grandparents and my parents' day and age, they had to travel with a book called the Negro Motorist Green Book in order to travel safely. Okay? Black people away from home had to know what and where to avoid to maintain dignity and safety. Where to find lodgings, food, accommodations, what sundown towns to avoid, and what roads to never ever travel. Now you must know how now, right now, you must know how to just walk down the street and make it home safe, knowing this still does not guarantee your safety. Now the damn thing has changed. Now you remember the girl?
I think it actually got worse.
Yeah. You know, because see, during those days when you had the Green Book,
right,
it told you where to go and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Now, it don't matter where you go. You know, remember the girl that played? She played in a few TV shows. No, she played on Family Matters, the Urkel show, and she played Laura's girlfriend, Maxine. That was the girl. Her and her boyfriend, or it might have been her fiance or whatever,
right,
was traveling through North Carolina in their car. Get pulled over by the cops. If one of the cops hadn't happened to recognize her, they were on their way to being killed for a speeding violation or some crap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know? Now on the other side of that, what we're calling a Karen, right? One of these privileged white women. Right. She gets pulled over for speeding by the cop. She tells the cop, "You lucky I didn't have my mace, because I'd have sprayed you up." That's a threat. Why didn't that cop yoke her ass out the car, hem her up, and cuff her up, and charge her with terroristic threatening? Because if that had been a black woman that said something like that, she'd have went to jail or worse.
You do know the American justice system is built for the white woman. Right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Don't get that mixed.
They gotta go all the way to the extreme and overboard of disrespect for them to be locked up.
Yes.
Like the old lady that he tried to give a ticket to, and she was like, I ain't signing enough, and him trying to pull off on me.
Yeah.
He was hanging in the car. Boom. Yeah, now she got to get locked up.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't get shot at. She didn't get beat up. She didn't get choked out. Nothing. She just got locked up. You know what I'm saying? After dragging the cops through the parking lot.
And that's all.
9, 10 cars.
You know?
So I mean, we got to understand. Like you said, it's a shame that we got to do public service announcement for us to survive traffic stop. You know what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? That's just unconstitutional itself to me.
You know? And you can't even go visit a friend. For instance, Florida teen, Jack Rowland, 16 years old, standing on the back porch of his girlfriend's Fort Myer home, where he had permission to be. Rowland was texting his girlfriend and waiting for her to open the door with both hands visible on his phone, when Florida Highway Patrol Trooper George Semineris, or Semineris,
Quick draw.
Yep.
Okay.
Tased
That's
the
his
boy.
nickname.
Yeah.
Okay.
He tased the boy. causing him to fall and hit his head on a fire pit.
Oh my God, killed him.
No, he didn't kill him.
Well, if
But he still messed up.
Brain damage, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's death.
Mm-hmm.
You can be living and dead, you know that, right?
Yeah. You know? Now, he was charged with failure to obey a police or fire department, a public order crime, and second-degree misdemeanor.
Hold on, the boy standing on the porch.
Standing on the back
He
porch.
got a charge for standing on his own porch.
Yeah.
At that time, because he had permission to be there.
He had the permission to be there.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Now, the charges were dropped.
Of course
Okay.
they would drop.
Yeah.
That was just a cover-up.
That's what it was.
On him not getting held responsible for his actions.
Mm-hmm.
So if they don't put a situation to their actions, they can't explain the liability.
Right.
You understand?
So the cop gets put on administrative leave and they're investigating him.
Paid administrative.
Paid
leave.
administrative
Say it right,
leave.
man.
And you know,
I love to go on vacation
shoot, you know?
after killing somebody by mistake and get paid for it.
Oops.
You know what I'm saying?
You know?
Come up and blow your brains out.
Yep.
And go on vacation to Hawaii or somewhere and watch the belly dancers dance on the... Okay.
You
I'm
know?
back.
All right.
But
You
no,
know?
that's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
Crazy, man.
Yep. But they're investigating him, and we know how that goes.
Messy.
You know how that goes.
Okay.
We investigated ourselves and found we didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. Yeah.
Found your friend.
Go to hell. Go to hell. Now, tell you something else.
Right.
What came out of the George Floyd protest last summer was that a lot of monuments, Confederate monuments, were taken down.
And hidden.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. For instance, here in
They should have been destroyed.
here in Wilmington, they took down Christopher Columbus statue, upset a lot of white people, and they took down Caesar Rodney statue. Now, let me tell you something. There's a difference between recording history and commemorating it. Okay? Take Hitler. Take Hitler. Take Germany. This is why Hitler's heinous actions are well recorded and taught in Germany. And remember, but there are no statues or memorials to him. Removing statues does not expunge our knowledge of historical events. It simply means we no longer glorify them, which is something that these right-wing whites and what have you, with their stance against reporting or talking about and teaching our history. White privilege. White privilege is the ability to pass laws that prevent anyone from learning history that makes white people feel uncomfortable. I don't give a damn about your comfort. What I give a damn about is the truth. And that's one thing that the
First
truth
of all,
history.
freedom of speech applies to that situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, by that by itself, freedom of speech, you have a freedom of speech. So you can basically say whatever you want, period.
I heard that. That's what, And like I said, I really don't give a damn about your comfort as opposed to the truth. You can't deal with the truth, that's your problem. It ain't got damn thing to do with it. That's what it is. WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye.
True.
Patrice Gibbs.
Nsoromma. Get up. Yo, Dave, I see you still here with me. Hey, Sarah, you spelled my name right. Alright.
Nsoromma by Nsoromma.
844 WHGE 95.3 FM. Let us hear from you now.
All right. Now, you know Muhammad Ali's birth name.
Cassius Clay. Yeah.
Cassius Clay. Where'd that name come from?
That
When he was a junior.
When he was what?
He was a junior, so he's named after his father.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. All right. But that name has a historical significance in Kentucky,
Okay.
where the former Cassius Clay was from,
Okay.
Muhammad Ali. And the historical significance of that name
Right.
is Cassius Clay in the early 1800s was a white man.
Oh, okay.
He was abolitionist. He was against slavery and this, that, and the other. Okay. Green Clay, cousin of former Senator Henry Clay, and Sally Lewis welcomed their son, Cassius Marcellus Clay, into the world. Little did they know how colorful a character their son would become.
Right.
Let me tell you something about this dude. This cat was something else. Okay? He, born in Kentucky, he resided there most of his life. His father was a slave owner. When he inherited his father's slaves, he cut them loose. He set them free. And after he heard a speech by William Lloyd Garrison while at Yale in 1832, he founded the abolitionist newspaper, The True American. Now in 1835, he was elected to the Kentucky House of Representatives, and he was re-elected 3 more times, despite his abolitionist beliefs living in a slave state. He was one of the first members of the Republican Party, eventually coming in favor with President Lincoln. Okay, don't get it mixed, you present-day Republicans. Those Republicans had nothing to do with y'all. Those Republicans were abolitionists, and when Democrats, who were the racist party, in 1948, when the Democratic leadership included civil rights in their bill, first the Southern Democrats formed the Dixiecrats. And then when Ronald Reagan, well actually Richard Nixon first came along, in the Republican Party,
Right.
those racist Democrats all joined the Republican Party. That's where they at now. So don't get that mixed up with your history. That's why y'all don't want to talk about your history. Anyway,
It's always flipped.
it's always flipped.
Once you get to like our now present day, it's normally a flip whole situation.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Now, abolitionist Cassius Clay from the 1800s was not a real popular dude in a racist, slave-driven America.
Right.
On 2 occasions, he was nearly killed for being an abolitionist. The first attempt occurred during a political debate. The story goes that political enforcer Sam Brown was hired to take Clay out. He walked up on stage and shot him
Word.
in the chest. But Clay didn't go down. This was a hard dude. Instead, he struck Brown multiple times with his Bowie knife, ultimately cutting off Brown's nose and ear while he had a bullet in his chest. His would-be assassin bit the dust fooling with this dude. The second attempt, he was ambushed by a racist group, a racist family known as the Turner Brothers, whose father was a pro-slavery politician. They surrounded Clay and proceeded to beat and stab him damn near to death. But this dude was hardcore. He wouldn't go down.
Right.
He kept swinging and took them down, chased one of them with his Bowie knife, which he always carried.
Of course. Protection.
He ran down the eldest brother and stabbed him to death. These people tried to kill him several times. And every time he did, they did the dust.
That's right. Did you know that, you're only a sovereign citizen when you are able to have protection on you? That's what makes you a sovereign citizen. You know that?
How about that?
To be able to protect yourself, to not need the so-called police to come and help you, makes you sovereign.
How about that? Well, he was sovereign.
That's
but
right.
I'm going to tell you what. At 89 years old, after the Civil War,
Right.
some cats tried to rob him,
I'm going to cut you.
shot him. And he stood there and looked at him and said, "You messed up," and pulled out his knife.
Oh, well,
and they was like, "Oh,
Mr.
no."
Pokemon.
Yes,
Slice.
ran off. He ran them down, caught one of them, and killed him. You know how he died? He died of natural causes, peacefully in his bed. Because nobody killed that fool.
Oh, no, but the creator wanted it.
That's right.
And oh my God.
Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. Oh, now,
What?
you know what? You sent me something. I gotta pull this out, y'all. Oh, first I gotta talk about this dude, Paul Gosar from Arizona. All right, Gosar. He's
Paul
a Republican.
Gosar.
Yeah,
Okay.
from Arizona. He's a congressman from Arizona. And he's like, well, jump up quick and say, oh, no, I'm not racist. All right. He's from a family of 10. He got 9 sisters and brothers. I don't know how many brothers there is, how many sisters there is. All right. But all of his siblings came out and said, look, he's a self-serving white nationalist. And one of his brothers said, stop. Don't call him no white nationalist, because that's just a nice way of saying white supremacist. Because that's what he is. I don't care if he's my brother, he's a traitor. When your own siblings call you out, I don't know if I would have came off publicly on my brother. All right? But his own siblings called him out and said, don't re-elect this fool. As a matter of fact, he helped promote the January 6th insurrection, and he needs to be locked up. His own damn family. That's how bad this dude is. That's word.
But, like, their charges, that's the investigations that need to be looked into. That never even get the light of day.
That's
you know
right.
What I'm saying? These family members saying that this guy did that.
Mm-hmm.
So the investigation begins there.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But you don't hear that. That ain't the news. You know what I mean?
That's word. Now, you sent me something. I want to get to that. Okay? For those of y'all that don't know, all right, here's a term that you need to know about our history. Development-induced displacement. It's happened to blacks and whites, but it really happened mostly to us. And when it did happen, there was usually violence involved. Remember you sent me the thing about the town, the black town?
Oh, yeah.
That is now a lake.
Yeah, and that's still, all the buildings and everything is still there.
It's still underwater.
And they just ride on that lake like it's nothing.
Like it's nothing.
They turned the area into a lake.
Lake Lanier is the name of the lake. It's in Georgia.
That was like the first,
one of the first.
What was that?
Like Rosewood or Tulsa. It was one of the first
one.
independent black towns.
That's terrible, man.
Where former slaves got together and built a community, that they could live in peace.
Right.
The whites said, nah, we can't have that. So what they did was they got together and they murdered and ran out and burned and this, that, and the other and got rid of them. And then somebody said, what we could use? We could use some recreational something around here. I know, let's flood it and build a lake. Like Nsoromma said. And all the buildings are still there.
Right.
And probably some bodies from black people.
Almost definitely. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, this is not an aberration in America. This is not something that happened once. Okay? There are over 100 towns underwater, black towns found in either underwater or that have been destroyed.
Right. Burned down to the ground.
Burned down to the ground.
Ashes.
That's word. For those of you that don't know or think that this is something that's, you know, some small part of our history. Remember I said over 100 towns. Have you ever heard of Seneca Village? Seneca Village was a thriving black community in New York. In New York. Okay?
And it's not just happening in the South. This was happening everywhere that, you know, black people was trying to, you know, be independent.
That's right. Development induced displacement. Seneca Village, okay, is where Central Park is now. There were approximately 225 residents that made up roughly 2/3 of African Americans, 1/3 Irish, and a small number of individuals of German descent. One of the few African American enclaves at the time, Seneca Village allowed residents to live away from the more built-up sections of downtown Manhattan and escape the unhealthy conditions and racism they faced there. They built their town up. The government of New York said, nah, can't have that. Ran them out of there, destroyed their homes, and built a damn park. A park that I've been to and enjoy being in. Central Park in New York. If you don't know Central Park in New York, wake up. Read some history, please. Please. Look up Seneca Village and what happened in Central Park, along with these hundreds of other towns that were destroyed. You know, my family has a Zoom meeting once a month, and we speak our family language on there, and we talk about different issues and things.
Right.
Okay. One of the things that came up from one of my cousins was the fact that slavery evolved. It never actually ended.
Yeah, I can believe that.
That's what, you know, what happened was the 13th Amendment had a clause in there that allowed for, if you were a criminal or if you are a criminal, that when you go to jail, you can be farmed out to a corporation. Of course, back then, you were farmed out to a plantation. And your crime could be something as small as, well, vagrancy was the big crime that they would snatch black men off the street for, or loitering, or being unemployed. You know, you're a vagrant. All right? And you go to jail. You go to the state penitentiary. And then you're farmed out to plantations and corporations and what have you.
Right.
And this is what they do to us now. Like I said, you know, slavery didn't end, it evolved. And if you don't understand that, look, one of the things that Nsoromma and I admonish people on is to study our history or to challenge us, okay? Because we don't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. That's why, you know, here in America, they don't want you to learn the history.
They don't want you to learn anything.
No, they don't.
And I suggest you learn Latin. Because that's the way they talk to you and get you hemmed up in their justice system.
How about that?
Because their justice system only speaks to you in Latin.
Mm-hmm.
So if you, and then they say their language is English, but their law is Latin.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell me what it is.
Yeah.
It's a manipulation.
Yeah.
So if you learn all this English, and then when it's time for you to go to court, you talking English and they talking Latin,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what they talking about, you can get locked up forever.
That's what,
you know, just
yeah.
want to say saying yeah to something that
you don't understand.
Right, exactly.
You know,
And that's,
learn legalese. Get Black Law's Dictionary and learn legalese, and stay the hell out of trouble. You know what I mean? So
I mean, trouble follow black people. You
That's
can't
what-
holler that out. That's
You
not a
got
good
that
thing
right.
to holler out. And stay out of trouble.
Well-
now, I mean, that right there is a cliche. Don't even say that. That
Okay,
ain't feel
I
right
feel
with
you,
me and
brother.
I'm next to you.
I heard
You know what
that.
I'm saying?
I
So
heard that.
Don't stay
I
out
heard
of trouble.
that.
It's stay aware and stay awake. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Because
sir.
they doing it to us. You know what I mean?
Well admonished, brother. Well admonished.
That's crazy.
I stand corrected.
Yup. Good
That's
job.
where big ups, all right? Now, listen, there are 6 essential qualities that are key, and this actually goes in line, that are key to success. Sincerity, personal integrity, humility, courtesy, wisdom, and charity.
Right.
Okay? Very true words. But these are difficult qualities to employ when one is sincerely living in fear. When the choices are integrity or a meal. When humility becomes the humiliation of sitting in the crowded social service waiting room. When courtesy is only extended to those that can afford it. When wisdom is exhausted by the struggle to survive. When charity is the change you drop in the jar at the latest memorial for the latest young murder victim.
And brother, you have all them qualities. And for our people to be able to survive this thing, we all have to bear them qualities. We all have to swallow our pride. We all have to, play our position and understanding that it's bigger than just you and I. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it lies at. That's the key.
Yeah.
I was listening to you say that. That's the key. And all the things that you were saying, you possess and pour out those 6 things.
Those qualities to other people.
Right. That's what's being extended.
Yeah.
Now, if they can do that back or pass that on to the next brother or the next fellow man, it'll be a different world.
That's word.
You know what I'm saying?
That's word.
Yeah.
You know, and let me tell you something, bro. When I say stay out of trouble, of course, I'm a big believer in self-responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay? And I know that, look, economically, a lot of times, we are left nothing but the underground. That's for a lot of us.
I mean, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
You
bottom
know,
feeders.
be smart. Be smart and know what you're dealing with. Because like I said, it's not just about liberty. Okay? It's not about liberty and freedom. It's about survival.
And awareness.
And awareness.
I mean, if you were in a situation and you know, okay, across this side of the street is nothing but drugs and, everything going on over there. That's where everything is at. Okay, when the cops pull up, they're not going to turn to the left. They're going to turn to the right. The side that's got all the stuff going on in it.
Right.
And now you're over there. And you just visiting. Now you look like that criminal that's in that
situation.
Right. So that's why I'm telling you, I understand you saying be smart and stay out of trouble.
Right.
You got to see that.
Right.
You got to apply that.
That has to be in context.
Yeah, that has to be conscious. You have to be. Some of us not even conscious like that.
How about that?
And
that's sad.
That's where I'm saying they the people that need to be. They are the real victims because they haven't picked the sides yet. They just in a situation and now they put in prison.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When they was really a student.
Well, see, you know what? It's like Richard Pryor said, right? They put you in a position where you can't do a damn thing, and then say, "See."
Yeah, and then say, "See."
Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah.
And it took you 25 years to become a bad guy.
You know?
But all the other time he's an A student in school. He worked every day. You know? It's crazy.
But see.
Yep.
You know?
They say that C to us though.
See,
but if it was a white guy, it's different. It'd be like, oh, Johnny's going to do something. Put him in the program. He should be okay.
That's why we do what we do, because that propaganda I have you believing that the worst people in the world are good people, and the good people, and that's what Malcolm explained to us, and the good people are the criminals.
And I see that. I really didn't understand his logic then and his wording and all the stuff that he was saying then until I became old enough, and now I'm part of what he's talking about. I can see how people can change this person's mind to believe something that that is other than what it is. You know what I'm saying? So
this is why we must control the narrative of what goes on in our community. And remember, like we always tell you, destiny determines who enters your life, but you decide who stays. Therefore, value those who value you, and don't treat those as a priority who treat you as an option. I'm Patrice Gibbs.
I'm Nsoromma.
It's the Open Eye.
WHGE 95.3 FM. Yaga! Thanks for tuning in. You dig?
All right. We know you enjoy your
Hey,
show.
yo. Thank y'all for tuning in. You know it's always combo for your ear. Come check us out every Saturday, 11 to 12, WHGE 95.3, or Mr. Gibbs, or Nsoromma, 2, Vic Coop. You know what it is. Yo, Pat, you got something to say to your posse?
Yes, like my man said, thanks for tuning in. We will see you next week. All right. I hope you learned something. If you didn't, you need to go back and listen again because we teaching them. All right.
That's right. Coronavirus, Nsoromma spinning, iTunes, Spotify, all streaming services.